Alrighty, mic checks, and there we go. So we're gonna do it live. Howdy y'all, this is Wes, and welcome to another very special presentation as we do our live letter watch along. I can't remember which one LXXI is. I think that's what, 71. So yeah, today we've got some 6.2 information coming out. Here, let me adjust the audio levels and everything. Just let me know if it's too loud, too soft. You know, having me talking and them talking and all of that gets pretty hectic pretty quick. So if it's getting to be too loud one way or the other, just give me a heads up. But should be quite a bit of fun today. As you can see, they're highlighting the island sanctuary, so hopefully that means we're going to get a little bit of information about it tonight. This morning. I don't know why I said tonight. So it's almost 6-7 o'clock in the morning, depending on where you're at. And thanks for joining me. I know it's very, very early for a lot of people, but you know, we'll make time for Final Fantasy XIV news, right? So they just got done with their tech checks, mostly spent to just talking about One Piece, but I think they are good to go. If you've never joined me for one of these watch-alongs before, you know, this one in particular is not going to be translated, but they do translate all of the slides that actually give the information, so we won't be able to tell what's going on with all of the background information that they're giving us. I know Reddit and Reddit's Discord for the game do live translations if you guys are interested at all. And then I also have my own Discord here with my FC. They're usually pretty good about keeping it translated as well. Now, for this one, I will be watching the Twitch feed. So if you're trying to do like a whole dual screen thing going on right now, this feed might be a little bit ahead of the traditional YouTube feed, not counting my own delay getting uploaded. So just kind of be aware of that if you're trying to watch a couple different feeds at the same time. Depending on which feed you watch, it might be a little bit off. Typically, I like YouTube a little bit more, but Twitch's feed does tend to be a little bit faster. So beyond that, I think it's going to be a pretty good morning. Big new patch coming up. So 6.2, we got the island sanctuaries, got the next chapter of the story. We have the next raid tier coming out. You know, how much of that they're planning on covering today, they haven't really said. Their 6.2 information is going to be broken up into two different live letters. This is just the first part. Now, traditionally, when they do this, they typically do the story on the first part and then PvP and miscellaneous changes on the second. I don't think they have as much going on with PvP changes, so I don't really know what they are going to split up for this. The lodestone only says just Part 1 patch 6.2 updates and then miscellaneous updates. So with them hyping up the island sanctuary so much, I wouldn't be surprised if we get a little bit of information on there. I don't know if we will get information on the next raid tier and, you know, maybe some printouts that'll hold up to the screen for the next raid tier gear. But usually that's something that I feel like that they do for the first part of these live letters. Big question, I think, for a lot of people is going to be whether or not they're going to show us the story trailer for the next chapter. You know, and traditionally it used to be, you know, 4.1 through 0.3 would be kind of the resolution of the expansion before it. And then parts 4 and 5 would lead into the next expansion. But with this starting off a whole new storyline, a whole new arc, you know, we really have no idea where it's going to go. Obviously, there will be spoilers in this, so if you are not caught up in Endwalker, this is your spoiler warning, because I will be discussing it off and on, depending on what kind of information they're going to bring up and whatnot. So if you do not want spoilers, go ahead and leave now. So there's your warning. Yeah, so, you know, 6.1, had some interesting stuff with this story. You know, obviously teasing the void and all of that stuff quite a bit. We're learning a little bit more about the makeup of, what was it, the 13th, I think, is the one that was completely shattered. So we don't really have a whole lot of information about it, other than the Warring Triad series and what they've shown us from 6.1. You know, I personally, I don't think that's where we are going to end up. I think having two expansions pretty close together, focusing on darkness and the void, seems like a bit much. And just in terms of, you know, how they would develop the world, I don't know if the void would really be all that interesting to look at through 5 zones, just from what they've shown us so far. But it's obviously going to be leading into something for the next expansion, so whatever we end up finding there, and whatever ends up happening with Y'shtola and the mech that they're building, who knows? But it's obviously going to be leading somewhere. We just don't know quite where. Now that's still, you know, we've still got 4 whole patches to go through before we get the next expansion. So, you know, they won't be speculating that far out as far as where we're going in the end. This update will just be focused on this patch. You know, if we do get a story trailer, obviously the pretty deceptive story trailers that they normally do, you know, very carefully edited and whatnot. Might have a couple previews of the next dungeon, you know, that kind of thing. But yeah, I am very, very curious where they're going to end up going with it. So all we can do is wait the next 7 minutes and find out. You know, with this not being a live translated one, I'll probably be talking over what they're discussing a little bit more than normal. So just kind of a heads up as far as that goes. When they do the live translation, I try not to, so that you guys can listen into, but we'll just kind of take it as it comes. We'll see what kind of slides they're bringing up and that kind of thing. Typically these things go pretty long. If this is your first live letter, it's not uncommon for them to go 4 or 5 hours sometimes. They try and aim for about 3. With them not having the translation, it should go a little bit faster than the past couple that they've done. Past few watch-alongs, we on this channel only really did the first half. Second half is usually just kind of miscellaneous stuff, and then maybe one big bomb at the very end. But yeah, we'll try and last as long as possible. You know, we'll see when they take their break, and you know, if it's only an hour and a half in, then yeah, we'll just keep streaming through the whole thing. If it ends up being like 2-3 hours before they take their first break, we'll probably only do the first half. But I mean, that'll be the majority of the important content. You know, there's a couple bucket list things that I would like to see. You know, they've teased before and then never gave any more information about it again. About some more stuff coming to the Gold Saucer. Now, I don't know if they'll tease that or not, but they could. Probably tease a new mount or something like that. Maybe get some information about, you know, whatever's happening for Crystal and Conflict Season 2. I imagine they are going to kind of go a little bit more in depth as far as the data center travel coming next week. Just to kind of, you know, review everything and give everyone, you know, another very, very big heads up. Hey, we're going to be down for 24 hours. This is what we're doing. Here's what we're doing to try and stop, you know, housing from breaking again during the process, you know, little things like that. Yeah, beyond that, I mean, it's all kind of a mystery to me. I have genuinely no idea where they're going to end up going with a lot of this, but that means it should be pretty fun. It'll be nice being able to kind of react to everything for the first time live. It's been a while since I've had a chance to do that, so. Yeah, Discord's already saying looks like Island Sanctuary will at least have gardening. And I think that'll be a pretty big thing if it does. You know, one of the big things with apartments and, you know, the housing situation right now is obviously you can't have a garden in most of your apartment areas. So hopefully that'll mitigate that a little bit. Might completely change the economy. A lot of Thavnarian onions flooding the market. But beyond that, I think it would be a nice bonus. You know, I'm not entirely certain how big gardening is for most people. But it is definitely, if you are interested in making Gil, the gardening thing is a pretty big setback if you don't have a house. You know, it's super easy to do. So, you know, as long as you log in and water them every couple of days, you can pretty much have a steady stream of income. But beyond that, they've really given no information about it other than trying to temper expectations of going, you know, hey, this is not Harvest Moon. Harvest Moon has had, you know, several games over several decades to you know, fine tune what they're doing. We can't do that in just one patch. But you know, just a little bit more information would help out quite a bit. But yeah, I mostly imagine it'll just be story and raid focused for today. Like I said, probably preview the next dungeon or whatever. But beyond that, I think it'll still be pretty interesting. You know, the fact that they're splitting it in between two says they've still got a lot of information. It's just I have no idea what the information might be. So it's all new to us. So I don't know how much I'll have as far as commentary goes. It'll probably just be a lot of reactions to all the cool stuff going on. But yeah, I think it's going to be a good live letter. It's nice to have them back. I missed them. I think I missed the last one because it was, you know, 3-4 o'clock in the morning as well. So for you guys soldiering on this early in the morning, it's the you're the true FF fans. Welcome. I always like the art for this. You know, obviously they've mentioned a few times about having all the minions roaming around and whatnot, but I do like the chocobo in between the bird and the horse. A little too on the nose, maybe. It looks pretty though. But I was mentioning in one of my streams earlier, the nice thing with this is even if it starts pretty basic, you know, the island sanctuaries with what they have mentioned so far sounds like content that they can always build upon in the future. So, you know, even if it does start kind of basic, you know, an expansion from now, who knows what it's going to look like. Maybe they will add a ton of Harvest Moon stuff. Maybe you can date Y'shtola, who knows. But I am excited to see it either way. I'm still hurting over no Blitzball. I was so hoping for Blitzball to be the next big PvP thing, so we'll just have to keep dreaming. You know, some people in the Discord have said that, you know, they tried to make Blitzball once and they couldn't get it to be fun, but I mean, that was like 3 expansions ago. They've come a long way. They can still do it. If they can make PvP fun, which I never thought I would say, then they can make Blitzball. I believe in you, YoshiP. I want to believe. All right, so we're about a minute out. I'll go ahead and crank up the feeds volume. Again, let me know if it's too loud, too soft. It seemed like they were a little quieter than normal when they were doing their tech checks. So we'll just kind of play it by ear, but I'm relying on you guys to let me know. Yeah, if they do have a story trailer, more than likely that's what they're gonna open with. So we'll just have to wait for the screen to go black and see. Hopefully we'll get a release date. I wouldn't be surprised if we get a release date. Hey, there we go.
皆さんこんばんは。
こんばんは。
第71回ファイナルファンタジー14プロデューサーレターライブをお送りいたします。
はい。
皆さんご挨拶お願いします。
ファイナルファンタジー14プロデューサー兼ディレクターの吉田です。
Hey.
よろしくお願いします。
YoshiP and Fox, there we go, let's go, man. Love that he's got his super dry shirt back on.
よろしくお願いします。
はい、お願いします。
はい。ということで、
意外と久しぶり。
実はそうなんですよ。
うん。
70回がですね、まさかの4月1日。
ほ
う。で、今日が7月1日なので、ついこの間だったような気もしつつ、気づけば3ヶ月経っております。
はい。
I one day aspire to have as many rings as YoshiP has.
いやいやいや。
そうね、確かに3ヶ月ぶり。
そうなんですよ。まあ間にね、探検隊の放送があったりとか。
まあまあ、6.1 はちょっといろいろね、
6.1もござい
あっ
ましたし
て、本当にご迷惑おかけしましたが、ものすごい数のテキストを出したので、すげえ月日が流れるのが遅かったですよ。と言いつつも、もう 6.2 も結構ね、開発途中に入ってきてるんで、いよいよその 6.2 の方を、ご紹介していこうかなと思っております。
今日はパッチ6.2コンテンツ特集パート1ということで、主にど
Alright.
んな項目が実装されるのか。
We're just doing the formal introductions and joking around a little bit.
はい。
はい、それでは早速参れればと思うんですが、
音大丈夫だよね。
大丈夫ですかね。
Getting their PowerPoint ready and making sure they've got all their slides and everything ready.
ビールの服で腐って書かれてる。
They are watching the feeds too, so if you do comment on Twitch or YouTube, they do watch that. That's what they're looking at is their screens.
そうね。でも新しい人が増えたってことじゃない？
スーパードライっていう名前のですね、洋服のメーカーがありまして、イギリス発のメーカーがございまして、
極度乾燥。
極度乾燥、そうそう、素晴らしい、ありがとうございます。極度乾燥を確保しなさいっていうメーカーがございまして。
I'm glad I'm not the only one to notice.
違うんだよ。
悲しいから日本に。
He's been wearing the Alexander shirt the past couple times.
っていう。
Bear with me while I adjust this. I keep bumping into it.
そうなんだよな。昔からだよね、あなたね。
そうなんです。最近そういう意味では
イベント T とかを着てたり、
放送のタイミングで反則のものがあると反則物着てるんであれなんですけど、そうじゃないときは私の標準装備はこんな感じです。
He always has really nice shirts on.
でも新規の方が増えて
I need to take some wardrobe tips for Foxconn.
まあ想像はするよね、最初はね。そうです。はいはい。というわけでやっていきましょうか。はい。
で、6.2コンテンツ特集パート2ではパート1ではあるんですが、
はい、その前にですね、パッチ 6.18 が来週火曜日に予定されておりますので、若干触れてからスタートしましょうか。
はい、まずはそちらの概要をご紹介いただきたいと思います。
はい。
はい。では画面お願いします。
All right, first slide, just kind of going over everything. So this 6.18, all the stuff we kind of knew
なん
about.
ですけど、今回非常に大きなシステム変更だったり、サーバー調整だったりが行われる都合上、
Yeah, obviously quite a bit of big news there. So it will be a 24-hour maintenance, just kind of a heads up. But yeah, adding the data centers to Europe and Japan. North America is coming, I think August is what they said, August or September. And it'll help out quite a bit with the queues. They spurred that on after the massive Endwalker launch. And then yeah, data center trouble. So that's the big news next week. They're just kind of again repeating all of the stuff that we knew, just making sure you guys know, hey, this is happening. All right.
パツンパツンという状態でですね、なんとか機材確保できましたので。ワールドを、追加させていただきます。で、それに伴ってですね、最新のサーバーマシンに、欧州は入れ替えをしたりするので、それらもろもろ含めて24時間メンテになってます。で、あとは、クリスタルコンフリクトのシーズン2がスタートするので、
excited to finally bug everyone on Primal.
あと、フロントラインの方も、
I'm coming for you guys.
からちょっとご報告してた、数値の調整をしてまいりますので、第1弾入りますので、黒窓必要すぎじゃねえかまだって言われてるのも、若干ナーフをまたさせていただきます。はい。はい。というわけで、調整はいろいろ入りますので、そちらもよろしくお願いします。はい、
ですでに告知も出ておりますが、メンテナンスの方は月曜日の夜からということになりますので、ご注意いただければと思います。よろしくお願いいたします。はい。ということで、パッチ 6.18 情報でした。はい。はい、
Moving on to the next slide.
6.2 の実装項目紹介に移れればと思いますが、まずは、新しいパッチですので、
パッチタイトル？
はい、そこからお願いできればと思うんです。ので、よろしいでしょうか。
いいんじゃないですか。おじさんの顔を映してもパッチタイトルは出てこないんで、パワポで大丈夫だと思いますよ。
はい、お願いします。
All right, here we go. What do we got?
そのタイトルは
Buried Memory. Okay.
何のメモリや。何個あれですかね。割ったかみたいな。 禁断
But who's buried memory, I
これ
wonder.
までプレイをスタートしてから何回割ったかね。禁断のメモリア。俺最初これに決めるときそこだけ悩んだんだよな。
それが
う
放
ってなる。
棄されちゃうんじゃないか。
うってなる。俺なんか68個連続で割ったな、そういえばみたいな。
Hmm.
まあまあ、禁断のメモリアというパッチタイトルで。
Wonder if it's the mysterious figure at the end of 6.1, maybe?
こちらです。2022年。
Coming late August, okay, so a couple weeks after I had hoped, but obviously a pretty big patch, so.
調整を一気にスタートしているところでございます。次回 PLL で
Let's see
は
what dates we got.
具体的に人と交えてね、お伝えしていけるんじゃないかなと思っております。
そうですね。
はい。
はい。パッチ6.2禁断の。
Let's see.
はい。
Yeah, I imagine probably the 23rd,
今回はですね、
August 23rd.
がまた
It's the week before the last week of August, I imagine. They could do it the 30th, which would be very late August, but
今日ぜひこのパート1で少しずつご紹介していけたらなとあります。
はい、よろしくお願いいたします。
はい、よろしくお願いします。
では順に参りましょう。画面お願いします。はい。
well, hey guys, we're hitting new quests. Who would have guessed?
パッチ6.2特集パート1ということで、
はい
そのパッチ6.2に実装されていくコンテンツっていうものをざっくり、とにかく、
If it's coming that late, we probably won't get a story trailer this early.
まずは
They're probably still working on finalizing the vocals and cutscenes, so might be kind of hard for them to cut it.
こちらは詳しく語るよりスクリーンショット2枚ほどご用意したので。
But who knows? They could surprise us, but I don't imagine we'll get one.
まあまあ続きならまあこういうシーンもあるでしょうね。
なるほど。
そしてもう一枚。
Okay, so Sid's back. There's our mysterious figure.
なんとかさん、何さんかもわからないけど。
あららら。
そう彼なのか彼女なのかもわからないですが、どうやらちゃんとキャラクターとして登場するっぽいですね。どうなるんでしょう。
どうなりますやら。
どうなる。
お楽しみです。
はい。まあちょっと今回はここまでにしておきましょう。
はい。
はい。ニンバオリって言われて後ろの人がね目を隠してる。
もうそういうのを拾うとそうとしか見えない。
Interesting thing is, it doesn't look like he's in the void there. He could be, but it doesn't look like it is. Hmm.
変に絡んでくんのかよってな。
うん。
はい。
ご期待ください。
ご期待ください。そして続いて、
Trying not to reveal too much. New side quests, okay. I wonder if that means we're getting
6.1 から始まりました。
next part of Hildy, maybe? Ataru? Yeah, there we go.
となります。はい。
Happy for that.
こちらもスクリーンショットをご用意
I like the first part of Tataru. I like where it's leading. It was just so short, so it'll be nice to have a little bit more of
な
that.
んかね、人によってはもう出会ったことのある
はいはいはいはい。
空賊っぽい方がいらっしゃいますね。
お、皆さんお気づきです。おっていう。もう一枚どうぞ。
うん。
はあは
はあはあ。まあこんな感じでだんだんこう世界中のいろいろこう非化線がやってきた冒険にこうまあ遡っていくみたいな感じですよね。
Smith or cartographer, one of the two.
受注条件がございます。はい。
Must first complete. Really? Huh.
アライアンスレイド。
It's an interesting requirement.
シリーズのクエストコンプリートが受注条件になりますので、そうじゃないと誰だかわかんない。
確かにこれ誰だって話。
It's a very interesting requirement. Huh. Wonder what that's gonna mean.
ぜひやっておいてください。
いいですね。早めに言っとくといいです。
はい。ぜひぜひお願いします。
はい。
そしてですね、まあこれメインストーリーじゃないからですね、まあちょっとね、お礼参りというか、いうことコンセプトなのでこのシリーズの。
なるほどなるほど。
よろしくお願いします。
About time something was locked behind the mock quest. Yeah.
が
Somehow for there. Yeah, there we go.
皆さんに
More Hildy. We knew it was gonna come, but
喜んでいただけたんじゃないか
kind of worried they do once every two patches for it, but
テンション
hey.
ね、久しぶりだなって結構 SNS でも拝見しました。 非化線がなぜ非化線が随分耐性がついたのか、挙取ることなくなんか気候を
太刀打ちしてますよね本当にね。
I had a lot of fun with the first part of that. It was great. It was so great hearing the Hildy theme music pop back up again.
なんかこう巻き込まれていく感じがね、確かに LD っぽいな。いやもうデデーンって戻ってきたヒルディに出るじゃない。はい。浅菜がバン。あれがどうしてもやりたかった。あれがやりたかった。あれがやれて満足。
なるほどね。あれで。
そうそう。あれは確かに。
Oh god, I just now realized that if they're gonna lock Tataru behind Shadow of Mach, that means you're gonna see Dunescape pop up a lot more in Ally Rue. That's gonna be interesting. Have fun with that, everyone. On the moon, okay.
どれだけ苦労してここまで行ったのかっていう。
もういる。
もうね。物理法則を無視するストーリーですからね。
Nashu, how did you get up there?
自由です。冒険はね。そうね。アーテリスの外へ広がっていっているので。
Really?
普通ですよ。
Really, no even point in trying to guess what's going on with Hildy. No point in trying to like read the tea leaves on it. just sit back, relax, go with the flow.
新たな武器強化クエストが 86.25。
Ah.
まあ
New weapon enhancement quests, huh? Is that gonna be I guess the epic series? I would assume so.
この手のやつが、もしかして
The
頭文
relics
字を取っていくとエオルゼアになるんじゃないかみたいなことがね書いてあったんですよ。
ああ、なるほど。
Who's ready for a Eureka 3.0?
そうか。なるほどね。
That is what we are up to now, isn't it? Are we up to Eureka 4?
残りの文字は何だみたいな。
それを見たときに、皆さんの深読みすごいなと思ったんですよ。
ありがたい。
で今回まあどう出来上がっていくのかというとですね、まずこちらです。なんとですね、帰ってきたヒルディブランドから、今回の武器強化が発展してまいります。
これは予想外でしょうよ。
ってなってる。
コメントがわーっとっていう状態。
That is not the unlock step that I imagined it would be.
イエスの方がいっぱいある。これはすごい。
ことなんでだ。
Alright.
その名もですね、皆さんにはマンダビルウェポンを作っていただきます。エオルゼアどこ行ったんだよって M じゃねえかよ。
なんね。
マンダビルウェポンを皆さんに作っていただきます。
Alright. You know what? I'm here for it. I want to be a Manderville man. Let's go.
彼らと設定の濃さによるのかな。
今回は、クエストを中心として進行してまいります。
Oh, man.
で、いつもと同じでですね、
Quest-centric progression. Okay, that's interesting.
継続的に強化。
No more having to level elemental skills. I'm okay.
で強そうなのかどうなのかっていうところなんですけど、
I'm just what the hell are the designs gonna be? We already have gold saucer weapons.
いただきましょう。まずウェポンシリーズね。伝説の武器を作っていくとなれば当然欠かせないこの人、安心感。安心感いつも。そこにですよ、この人が加わったらどうなるの？
What's Geralt gotten himself into this time?
強い。
面白いな。そろそろ服着ろよって今コメントがあったんですよ。あった直後にもっと着てないやつが出てくる。
なるほどね。
マンダビル家に伝わる武器なのか。最強だな。
どうなるのか。
You know, someone in Discord's bringing up a good point. They wonder if the joke designs from the weapon contest are involved. That would actually be a really, really cool idea. Making the weapon contest designs your relic weapons and then putting them behind the joke quest line. Yeah. Yeah, man, that would own.
最強のマンダービルウェポンになるっていう理屈的にはあってそうじゃない？
すごい。二大濃いキャラが。
ベロルトも勘弁してくれっていう感じ。
One step of the relic would be rubbing salamander oil on Godbird.
ウェポンどうなっていきますやら、6.25 からスタートとなりますので、ぜひこちらご注意。
Alright.
まだね、ヒルディブランドシリーズやってないんだよという方はですね、6.2 ね、5までにじわじわ、はい、読み物として楽しんでいただけると大変です。
Now I'm genuine. I am genuinely curious how this is gonna go. I mean, I'm so glad we're not gonna have to go back into Eureka. But I just how? New travel quests, are they gonna do crafting next, or are we gonna get another battle system? Ah, the Omicrons, okay. Gathering. Alright, so they're going with the same pathway they did for the Kaikern.
皆さん予想はいかがですか？ね。
予想がこう外れていくといううわそこまで行くみたいな。
そうね。
That's interesting. I wonder how that's gonna go.
ございます。よいしょ。
There you go. Yeah, there's the bar after we after you finish the additional raid or additional dungeons in 6.0. That's where it leads us. So must be getting help from the Loperates, huh?
ね、繰り広げられていくのか。
All right. I'm glad for that. I mean, I think I've got all my No, I still need, I think, level mining. That'll be a good excuse to hop in there. Actually, wait, do I have mining level? I can't remember. It's the trouble with having a bit of every job, right? I need to just get them all to 90 and then just be done with it. I am curious how that's going to go. How that's going to be tied into the story, for sure. I would not have expected them to be gathering, but, you know, I'm here for it. Why not? But that does mean we're going to have to wait longer for the Loperates. Which is a bit unfortunate, but, you know, I think that's kind of the system they've kind of settled on. Battle gathering crafting. Alright, new dungeon. See if we get at least some key art for it.
こちらはメインストーリーで絡んでいくことにあるのかなというわけで、ダンジョン名出しましょう。
The Fell Court of Troya. Huh. Is that gonna be in the void? Are we going there that early? Huh.
さて、どこにあるね。
皆さん、引っかかる場所があったんですか？
さすが。
なるほどね。
さすが光の選手たち。
どうなるやら？
I mean, when I hear Fell Court, that's what I assume.
早いな。
多いですね。多いです。
早押しクイズになみなよ。
さあ、じゃあスクリーンショットをですね、2枚だけご用意しておりますので、まず見ましょう。
Some people are saying it's a 14 reference.
受けたかな?
Yeah. Or a 4 reference. I guess I'll find out after I'm done with my playthrough of it.
もう1枚。
わわわ。
これはそれっぽい。
Yeah. Yeah, it's gotta be.
ほい。あれや。受けたじゃなかった。
Yeah, I didn't think we'd be going there that early.
いい色味ですね。
吉田の家。
I mean, that's where I assume the tribunal chairs were that we saw in 6.1.
暗いだろう。
I really didn't think we'd be going there that early, so
ゴ
okay.
ゴゴゴってずっと鳴ってそう
なっ
じ
てますね。
ゃん。これはな。
Have to lay the ground for the trials series. Yeah, that's true.
ロイヤーこう
GM すんでそうね。
Still waiting for
そうね。
our trial series
こ
now.
っから出動してき
あ
そうだ。
それは確かにあっても確かに
GM の皆さん。
Oh, they could announce the first step of that
ブ
too.
ーンって出てくる。そうモルディオン監獄だったんじゃないさっき
外観は
の
こんなだった
さっきの監獄だったし。さあそして、新たな討伐討滅戦ももちろん
There we go, new
ござい
trials.
ます。
See if they announce
こちらについては、どうぞ。
the series,
だね。
内緒でございます
just the
まあ
single
ノーマル
trial.
といわゆる高難度の極
もあるよ。
も、実装となりますが、
うん
こちらはシークレットとさせていただき
Please look forward to it.
なんかこうねハテナなのに知ってたとかだろうとか
そうね。
うんだろうとか
皆さんの予想合戦がはかどりますね。
こうどうなるどうなる
I mean, if they're going for references for pretty much this entire X pack, I don't know. I'm real curious.
ないん
ね
じゃない
なんとなくの長さしか見てない。
ないんじ
リリブランド。
ゃないなるほどさあどうなりますかね
I would like to
こ
see
こは公開まで
9 or 10 get a little more love, though. Be nice to throw a curveball at us.
はい
はい。じゃあお楽しみにという。
はいさあそして、
はい
6点にさらにコンテンツが続きます、
はい
こちら
Yeah, that's probably all we're getting. Yeah.
レイド
And then next rate tier. So
バンマデンパンデモニウム第2弾、
Abyssos, okay.
そして
Kind of figured that's where
パンマデンパンデモニウム
where it ended up going.
煉獄編が実装となります
Now that I've actually played through Pandemonium in the original.
煉獄さんは負けてないっていうセリフが、
そうね、致し方ない。
出てきます
なるほどね。
でですね、
はい
ちょっと霊式に関して、
Let's see if they show us any of the see if they show us any of the new gear or even a preview of the next boss.
申請してから9年経ち、まあ来年10年目で、だいぶそのコンテンツのなんだろうリリースこうタイミング、公開タイミングみたいなのってまあだいぶ定まってはきてたんですけど、
はい
唯一このその8人用の高難易度レイド、いつもノーマルと霊式の実装を分けられないもんかというのをずっとお話しされていてですね、
はい
今回、霊式のですね公開を、
はい
パッチ 6.2 から一周ちょっとテストケースとして、ずらしてみようかなと。
はい。
こうストーリーを見たいから、その
Savage rate, yeah. That's pretty standard. That's nothing new.
確かに。
で、
Yeah, sorry, I'm just updating
レベル
the
の人たちがこうワールドファーストレースやるのに、結構こうノーマルを繰り返しねやってその研究とかってなってくると、まあそれはそれで辛いなっていう声とかも実はあったんですよ。で今回一応じゃあそのずらした時にどんな影響が出るかっていうシミュレーションとかは僕らもやったんですね、経済影響とかもいろいろ。でただもうずらすことに対しての対応を始めてしまうと後戻りが今度できなくなっちゃうので、今回一周ずらして公開させていただいた上で
pushing the release of Savage by 1
賛
week.
否がやっぱあ
Okay.
るのでこれ、いや、ずらすで大丈夫だったよというお声が非常に多ければ、それに合わせてさらに
It'd be interesting. You know, I would usually go through all four and then hop into the first one just because they're both requests asking for and against it, so we'd like to make this a test run.
そのまま1週間ずらしてみますので、
Okay.
ぜひ。
Yeah. You know, it's good of them to do that. It's like, well, we're getting
はい。
asks for both, so
なので今回
sure,
は
let's give it a shot
これで
and
良かったという方も
see what people
ぜ
say.
ひコメントいただければ
そうですね。
You know?
この方が落ち着いてやれて、
I'm not opposed to it.
毎
You
週
know,
逆に
gives me a little bit of a cool
フォーマル
down, gives you,
あ
I don't
の
know,
中から例式
a little bit more to just kind of sit and think on. Gives you another week of trying the normal to learn the mechanics and see how it might affect the savage, you know?
とにかくもう一度やらないことには
Don't get burned out as
と
fast.
いうことを決断したので、ちょっと今回はそうさせていただきます。
1 week reminder to relearn your rotation, yeah.
で
Yeah, I mean, we'll just see how it goes.
1枚だけ
I don't see anything wrong with it. If people don't like it, then it sounds like they'll just switch it back. So not really a big deal.
有無わからん。
緑
Hmm. A lot of slime.
まあ今回今日ちょうど1層から4層まで
はい
The Nickelodeon raid.
1回目のチェックをやったんです
いかがです
けど、いや面白かったです。
おー
面白い。まあちょっとまだ難易度高めでした。面白かったです。新しいまたギミックも多数ございます。はい。楽しみ。ぜひぜひ。
The final boss will be reassembling the silver monkey in its shrine.
はい。はい、ありがとうございます。では続いてです。新たな現
New Unreal. I wonder what the next one's gonna be.
公開となります。
I need to finish Ultima.
こちらは
Apparently Ultima is really not bad. It's like the easiest Unreal they've done yet.
現マジ
Ooh.
セフィロト
That's gonna be. Oof, I don't know how I feel about that.
まあ難しかった。これね挑戦も終わったんですけど、
あもう終わってるんですね
テストやったんですけど、いや
Yeah, that's
難しくて。
oof.
ちょっと
I don't know how I feel about
今のルなんだろう。
Sephiroth is
そぐわない
kind of rough.
あれ
I'd say he's probably the hardest, honestly, out of the three.
ターゲットされた人に。
Yeah, that's gonna be.
あれでかつ
Oof.
距離減数
So
が入ってたり
get your full hollows now. While you got an easy
その
one.
辺は一応ちょっと変えたんで今風にちょっと変えたんですけど、それでもレベルシンクガチでやったら、まあ雑魚抱えるところでタンクがすげえ勢いで溶けたりしてて、
そうね
いやでもなんか当時のやっぱり難しさ
はい
を感じてもらうのもコンセプトだから、まあいいんじゃないかって言って、
まあ確かにセフィロト僕実装当初の僕は大変でしたもんね
あと左右戦争が起きたのもここからだったんですよね。そのセフィロトの右、左って言って、セフィロトの向きによって変わりますよねみたいな。セフィロトに向かって
Hope they don't get sued a second time.
いや、セフィロトの右足ですみたいな。でもそれタンクによって。
I think they only got threatened by Power Man 5000 over that. I think they reached a deal eventually. Something like that.
そうね。ここは再び
Say his name.
マクロが大体分かれるんですよね。右左絶対セフィロトに関係なく固定っていう場合と、
東西の右左
そうここ懐かしいですよね。はい。
Yeah, people in Discord already asking if the average pub group can clear Sephiroth consistently, and like, I don't know, man. It's been a long time since I've done this unsynced, and it was not easy to begin
で
with.
さらにですね、続いては、
Decent number of people know about the knockup. It's fine.
でいきます。まず
Alright,
は
job adjustments. Let's see here.
も行いますし、
And I feel like just about everything's in a pretty good place.
調整も
And PvP adjustments. That's really the bigger one at this point.
まあPVP に関してはクリスタルコンフリクトのマッチング周りとか、まあ、もうちょっとこうできるだけガチな試合がしたいとか、あとそのまあ皆さんが思ってるほど多くはない、僕らログ見て調査して罰してってますけど、まあ申請合わせみたいなのを、まあ、さらに取り締まったりやれなくするようにしたりっていうのちょっと、その辺はいろいろ手もシステム的にも手は入れますので、はい、よろしくお願いします。 でですね、次に
So I don't. It doesn't sound like they're going to go super in depth as far as specific changes. More than likely, because they don't really have to. They're mostly going to be balance adjustments. It's not like the last time where they really had to go through and like break down each job and what exactly they were going to be doing with each one. Mostly just numbers changes. Such adjustments to the Dragoon and Astrologian jobs have been postponed. Okay. Probably just needs more testing to try and get it to feel good. You know, everything's so timer based that they really have to figure that stuff out first and foremost. But it is good that they're acknowledging like, hey, we're going to be doing this.
触らないってことじゃないです。
触らないってことじゃないので、はい、そこはそのこういうエヴァ言ったでひよったなとか言われてちょっと切ないのは切ないんですけど、はい、ちょっとさすがにあれ方だとまあやっぱちょっとあんまりやるべきじゃないのかなとは思いました。はい、でそれに付随してですね、今後パッチノート、まあサーバーがダウンしてからパッチノートとは別にですね、ジョブ調整の意図っていうのをちゃんとテキストで
Engines behind you. Okay, so maybe that'll be part 2. Hopefully it won't take nearly as long as last time. That's why the last few live letters took so long, as they broke down every single job. There's a lot. It mentioned something about PvP server queues, but I didn't quite catch what it was.
意図を公開したとしても、いやいや違うそこじゃないっていうお声はまああるとは思うんですけど、ただ意図がわからないままなのが辛いっていうコメントを非常にね前回たくさんいただいて、
making it harder to try and get into the same matches. Okay.
公開していこうかというふうに一人でもね
yeah, trying to screw over the win traders essentially is what they're doing. Good. And it's just better because, like, if you play at odd hours, you just get the same teams over and over again, just naturally. And it's just, yeah, it was rough. It's like, oh my god, I lost against these guys 3 games in a row, and here we are again. You know, switch it up at least. Seems like it's still kind of basic as far as their how it queues them up. And that'll be interesting. Critical and direct hit. I wonder if they're nerfing it or buffing it. Planning adjustments for instances in which buffs, debuffs, and... it sounds like a buff. Yeah.
まあクリティカルやダイレクトヒットの確率アップみたいなシナジーをもらった時に、まあ意味ないじゃんみたいな。ロスってるじゃんそこでっていう部分に関してそうならないように手を入れていきますので。
Yeah, I didn't even realize that was a problem.
まだ実装中なので、どういう調整修正になるかっていうところは次回 PLL そうですね第72回 PLL で詳細を
like normally that kind of thing would just be like at the very bottom of the patch notes like fixed a bug.
詳細はそちらを待ちはい で
Thought that it gets its own slide.
はい次参りますか。
はいじゃあ次お願いします。はい、で PVP 関連のアップデートです。はい、パッチ 6.2 で、まず PVP シリーズの2が始まります。はい、今シリーズ1やってますよ。報酬もうみんな多分取れちゃったと思うんですけど、報酬
Here we go, Series 2.
シリーズ2が
Get your borders. I don't know if I'm going to go for another crystal border. That was way too much work for very little payoff. But I'm happy having the nice little season 1 little banner at the very bottom of mine. I don't need another one after that, unless I want to go for top 100. But that's way too many games.
デバッグが慎重にやらなきゃいけないので、シーズン2には間に合ってないんですけど、シーズン3のスタートには間に合わせるようにしていこうと思いますので、いただいているフィードバックしっかり反映していきたいと思ってます。
Almost seems like a short season.
それからですね、再開のお声をいただいていたライバルウィングもですね、6.2 から再開予定となっておりますので、はい、大変お待たせしました。はい。はい、はい、よろしくお願いします。
There are skills that increase the crit DH hit. Buffs that increase your crit and DH rate seem useless with jobs that use those skills. We will implement adjustments here. We'll talk about the next. Okay. So Sam's, it sounds like. You need improvements.
まあ、まず、一番でかいのはメインクエストで、訪れるダンジョンのコンテンツサポーター
Here we go. More duty support.
続けていきます。
At least maybe the first part is Heaven's Sword, maybe?
今回対応するのが、こちらの5ダンジョン。
Snowcloak Keeper. There we go. Yeah.
木薬の塔。
Cool.
ソームある。
And the Vault. That'll be interesting. Wonder if we'll get some Scions or Amaric or someone for that.
さはなんだって言われると返す言葉がないんですけど、ここまでがちょっと後のスケジュールを踏まえてもですね、5ダンジョンとなりますのでご了承ください。はい。で、1個
It'd be really cool to have him along with it. I mean, he's there at the cutscene at the end. Why not?
スクリーンショットをお持ちしております。
ご覧いただきましょう。わあ。
Hey, nice. There we go. Actual story characters.
なってる。コンテンツサポーター。
いよいよこういう世代に来たわけですね。
そうですね。まあ過去コンテンツも進化を続けていくという。
Nice. I like that.
これは
like that a lot. It's
とかにはっていう方も
felt a little bit
そうですね。まあでもこのあたり
felt a little awkward just having, you know,
参加してくれている
Battle Hardened Scion or whoever, you know.
やっぱり14プレイヤーとで来てくれる人たちが本当に多くてですよね。なのでもうぜひ思い入れもあるので対応担当させてほしいですとか。まあだからこそこう細かい説明とかをあまりしなくても、こういう風になったら喜んでくれるだろうなみたいな。
Yeah, I can't imagine Amaric not being part of the vault.
分かってくれてるんで、そこはねすごくチームとしても、まあ規模もどんどんチームの規模さらに上がっていってはいるんですけど、よりなんだろう隅々までね手が届く開発チームになってきてるかなと思ってます。
All right.
さあさらにですね。メインクエストの回収がまだ続いてありまして、一部のコンテンツのソロクエストバトル化をリットアティンさんがね8人コンテンツじゃなかったコートイシュガルド防衛戦をソロ用に作り直しましたので
New solo quest battle. Okay, they're getting rid of the steps of faith. Thank God. They're killing all of the worst trials.
没入感まあまあまあなるほどねっていけるんじゃないかなって思って
I'm not gonna complain about it, but F to a legend. You just love signing up for trial roulette and getting steps of faith. Isn't it just wonderful? Doesn't that make you love Final Fantasy so much? Yeah. This is a real trial, man. Oh, they're revamping Thorn March. That okay. Maybe to make it more clear as far as which Moogle you need to hit or something.
コンテンツサポーターでやっていくと、初めてのここ、まあ8人コンテンツなんですよ。
ああ、そうか。全部一人でやれることになった結果、
なんかむずいんですよ。そう急にあいつ。
なるほどね。
攻略ルールが結構むずいんで、これいわゆるストーリー上のノーマルとして改めて。As
the only thing I could figure is just, I don't know, either the instant kill thing getting a little bit of a revamp or better tells on which Moogle you need to attack. I mean, I still like it. It's a fun trial. It's just it is kind of awkward. You know, if you're trying to take people through it for the first time. Even just doing it on the extreme version for your cat book is kind of weird. You just kill all the small Moogles and then I don't know, just like keep attacking things until something works. And they were like flying through this today. And I have a feeling it's going to be a pretty short live letter at this rate.
こまで話して前半。
Good period where you always ate max damage from a mental Moogle, yeah.
次の
こうやってから。
次のブロックやって。
ここまでやって。
ではですね、こっから新たなコンテンツ
Turned up the volume on the music, please enjoy.
ご紹介していこうかなと思っております。新たなバトル
New
コンテンツ
battle
名
content.
前正式名称
Okay.
です。シリーズ名称なんですけど、こちら
What's this mean?
バリアント
Variant? Oh, yeah, this is that thing they've been teasing about.
6.25公開予定でございます。
はい。
バリアントダンジョンって何やねん。
Yeah, they've been teasing this for a while.
だけどみたいな。
っていうやつですね。じゃあまあこれ何かというのを今日概要。
Yeah, this is that variable you can do it between 1 to 4, and
あの
yeah,
ディープダンジョン
I'm curious how this is
ディープ
gonna
ダンジョン
go.
は
The criteria and
作
stuff.
ってるんですけど、ディープダンジョンではないです。まずです。難易度可変ダンジョンという名前でですね、カッコ仮で紹介してたやつが
Variable difficulty dungeons. Previously introduced as criterion, yeah. So you probably remember them if you watched prior to Endwalker. They were kind of teasing those a
1
bit.
人から4人でカジュアルに遊べる
4-player party when matched, okay.
1人から4人、
はい
でマッチングするときマッチングコンにも対応してるんですけどマッチングするときはまあ4人で
あ
になりますで、なんとですねロール構成自由でございます
Okay, so they confirmed that this is not the new deep dungeon, but they are working on that as well. So we will get a follow-up to Heaven on High eventually. No role restriction, job. Okay, interesting.
自動的に敵の強さが変わりますなのでまあソロで行きたいんだよとか2人デュオで
Enemy strength determined by party size. Okay.
2人用とか1人用とかに自動調整されますね敵のねなので
Yeah, it's interesting. No role restrictions.
まったり遊べるぞと。で、特徴があってですね、ダンジョン内のその皆さんの行動によってですね、ちょっとルート分岐が発生したりですね、してございます。まあそもそも入り口からしてどのルートで行くみたいな感じもあるんで、
なるほど
最初。これはね、まあちょっと今までのとは。
Yeah, I'm curious how this is going to work in practice. Route of progression branches placed on player action. Yeah, I'm seeing a lot of people in chat are like mauling over this because they thought this was going to be Final Fantasy's answer to Mythic Dungeons and Mythic Plus. And it's like they never said anything like that, but they're kind of doing their own thing with it for like 90 casual content, right? So I'm curious, and there's nothing here saying that it's not necessarily going to be hard. It's just going to be, I don't know. It's an interesting concept what they're doing here.
シラディハ水道です。なるほど。はい。ということは、ブルーダ派のね、地下川みたいな。ロア結構好きな方はね、
聞いた名前だけど。
はい、シラディハ。
Yeah.
で、
Hey, this is very specifically casual, not Mythic Plus.
探索するストーリーになっております。ダンジョンの中
Explore the depths alongside a certain someone. Okay.
さあ、どうなるなのでまあ、今までね、ダンジョン攻略
Raban, maybe?
アライアンスレードだとよくこう、ね、水先案内人のようにいるじゃないですか。一緒にこう、歩く NPC。結構喋ります。で、さらにですね、こちら、ルートの分岐によってですね、語られる物語が変わります。なんていうんだろう。
Experience a different story depending on your chosen path. Okay, that's kind of cool. So it's almost like a battle visual novel.
読み物が手に入るんで、それを揃えていくと全体のお話がわかるみたいな。
Kill the Minotaur or marry the Minotaur. There you go.
何周もやって物語をいろいろ掘り下げていこうっていう人もできるし、2人でも4人でも3人でもみたいな感じになってます。
It almost feels like it almost feels kind of like the story quest in Genshin Impact.
なのでまあ
when you think about it.
なんていうんだろう、そのクリアに急ごうとかっていうことじゃないから、 一通りなんか落ち着いたわとかゆっくりやっていこうかみたいな感じでやってもらえればいいなと思います。
もう日本語と英語と
I don't know. I think it sounds pretty cool, to be honest.
誰と行くのか。
大会もしくは
I know a lot of people are mad, like Criterion's on the plus.
まあラウバーンかもし
Who
れない。
cares?
我が輩。
この場所なら
I want give me my visual novels. Let me marry Robon. There you
ど
go.
うか。貴様はどうか。いや、俺は左だった。
So I'm curious if this is going to be like a voting thing in parties, like how you decide which story you go
1
along.
枚だけご用意しております。
どうぞ。
まあこんな感じで。
Oh, that looks cool.
ですね、結構
Pretty.
ルートたくさんあって、見栄えもするところいっぱいあるし、まあ隠しルートみたいなのもあるから、結構実はねスクショ映えするような場所もねご用意しているので、
一人で行けるのありがた
そ
いう
ですね、ぜひゆっくりこういろんなことをこう楽しんでいただける。だからまあシラディハ水道っていうと地下ばっかりかなってなりがちなんですけど、ちゃんと変化つけるのに開けた場所とかね、そういうところも用意してますので、あとあれですね、テレジルートとアデレジルートっていうコメントもありますね。分割されている。
Looks a little bit like Karn, just in older.
どっちについていくの？
でこれがバリアントダンジョン。今後もバリアントダンジョンはマイパッチではないですけど、割と 6.X シリーズ中もやりますんで、第2弾とか第3弾とかってやっているので、覚えてください、ぜひ。シリーズです。今回単発じゃないです。こういうことをやっていこう。だから仕組みとしては多分作ったっていう。
Clothes Lolorito, the other to Subligar Lolorito.
少人数バトルコンテンツでお話がくっついている。はい。そしてですね、さらに新たなバトルコンテンツがございます。こちら。
Another path. Okay.
もうなんか AD やら DD やら
Yeah,
VD や
I'm
ら
curious. I don't really have a whole lot to add beyond that, just because I don't know. They didn't give us a whole lot of info, just kind of an overview. But it sounds cool. Sounds different. That's what I really like about it. Is it sounds like nice, fun, different content, especially if you like story stuff.
まずレベル90の4人で挑戦する高難度コンテンツです。出た。
Oh, so the Criterion dungeons are going to be high difficulty. Okay.
まあカジュアル向けですよっていうコンテンツなんですけど、こっちはアナザー。
Yeah. So they changed the names of them. So now Criterion is going to be kind of the M plus stuff.
レベル90の4人でまあ挑戦していただくんですけど、こっちはもうロール構成はガチです。
Interesting. I'm curious how this is going to go. One tank, one healer, and 2 DPS. Okay.
ダンジョン構成ですね。で、
Wonder how all those people molding feel
バリア
now.
ントダンジョンに似てますが、
People love to jump the gun thinking that Yoshi forgot about them. They don't forget these
まあ
things.
リソースはうまく流用しつつ
Visually similar to variant dungeons, but overall structure, enemy strength are completely different. Okay.
なるほど。
我が輩では太刀打ちできない。
You can do an easy version for the story
で、
and get some bonus stuff, or you can do the super hard mode.
こちらはです
Okay.
ね、さらに概要を続くんですが、アナザーダンジョン第1弾は、こちらです。異分シラディハ水道と異分シラディ
Yeah,
ハ
a
水
savage
道
version, huh?
2つあります。なので、
Interesting.
バリアントダンジョンがノーマル。アナザーダンジョンの、
Okay.
1個目が、極。
Interesting.
なるほどね。
Okay.
で、
Hold on to your balls, boys.
で異分の時点でも
We've got a ride ahead of
難易
us.
度はかなり高くて、異分
High
にしてさら
difficulty
に
by default with Savage providing additional challenges. Okay.
となってくる。
This is the stuff our favorite bald streamer was really excited about, huh?
まあ初だからいきなり絶って書くとさ、
All right.
なんかちょっとね、でもまあ相当難しくはしてる。
All right. Okay, here we go. Let's
特に海外の方からね、
I gotta
少人数、
dust off the old rust.
少人数用のコーナーコンテンツがぜひ欲しいんだ。もう7、8年言われてきたんじゃないかなっていう感じなので、まあ随分
Getting time over in the dungeon, yeah.
コーナーコンテンツ作ってきたので、いよいよ今回4人用もという感じになってます。では、ちょっと異分白リハ水道の特徴をちょっとご紹介しましょう。はい、お願いします。
I just one of those things. I mean, they're given all this info, but until we actually step into them and see how they work in process, I don't know. There's not really a whole lot I can say, you know. Fewer parties have fewer than 4 players supplemented via matchmaking, okay. And so they are hard for, yeah. Methods, uh-oh.
じゃないと、そのヒーラーが死んだら終わるやんっていうことになっちゃうので、どのジョブで言っても蘇生手段を持ってます。その代わり通常の蘇生は使えません。
My berets. No. That's all I do. That's my job. That's my one job.
均等になるので、こういった形にしております。で、あとほら。ジョブ構成によって蘇生手段が多い少ないが出ちゃうと思うんで、そうそれをなくして、
What am I supposed to do now?
で、
That's my entire job identity, man.
全滅したら終わりじゃないんですけど、
そうですね。
We'll have fun with it. Just might have to switch over to mech or something. Defeated enemies do not revive after party KO. Okay, that's good. That's good.
一度倒した敵はまあ復活しませんよ。
これはもうわざわざこれを書いたってことはっていう気しかしないですよ
ね。じゃあ続いて異分白リハ水道の霊式の特徴をちょっとお話しましょう。
はい、お願いし
ます。Oh God.
こちらはですね、
Oh God.
がございません。4人パーティーでのみ。
Or preform parties, so okay. So that's your party finder. Back into the old salt mines. Oh, wow.
なし。だからまあ、その途中で、
So you got one shot.
3人で
Interesting.
どこまで進むかみたいな。で、全滅してしまった。ワイプした。ワイプしたってなったら、一度倒した敵がですね、嵐。
All enemies revive.
死ぬな。
ゾンビアタック
倒せですね。ダメです。そういうのは許さん。一定時間内にしかも攻略しないと敵が超強化されます。だからこっちはもうより制限時間って感じです。
そういうことですね。確かに。やらざるを得ない。
If not defeated, isn't it?
Yeah,
all right. Well, people wanted harder 90-man content, so you get what you asked for. Your monkey paw has curled. Dungeon and Rage. Interesting.
まあ今回はそのバリアントダンジョンからアナザーダンジョンを通じて、いろんなタイプのプレイヤーの皆さんにそれぞれ楽しんでもらえる。まあもちろんね全部やっていただけると嬉しいなと思うんですけど、
Well, I mean, I'll give them a shot. Who knows? Instead of doing savage raids, since that's so frustrating, maybe this is my calling. Maybe this is where I enter my true form, my final form, is in savage dungeons. EF is gonna be like in Rage Prog on Track 3. Single pull only. Oh man, Party Finder's gonna have a field day with this. Gonna be fun though. I'm excited. I'm very excited. I literally have no clue what to expect. Yeah, CC will be mandatory now. Black mages will finally have a use for sleep.
はい、ありがとうございます。といったところで前半戦をここまで行かせていただきまして、 後半もまだまだござるのですが、ここで一旦休憩を取らせていただきたいと思います。
無人島は後半お話ししま
I
す。
still haven't seen any printouts held up to the camera. That's the one thing we're missing.
今日は休憩はですね、15分ほどいただきまして、
ちょっと
9時10分はい、9時10分再開としたいと思います。本日の休憩のお供を発表いたします。
いや、ちゃんと休憩できる休憩って書かれてたよ。休憩はできる。
はい。本日の休憩のお供は先日1ヶ月ぐらい前ですね。もうその経った。
I'm curious what you're gonna get from those dungeons too. Like they didn't mention loot at all.
先日、公式 YouTube チャン
Probably
ネ
just get
ル
a
で
title.
紹介しました、フローとクローズインザディスタンスの2つの MV の3本セットでご覧いただきたいと思います。全部で10分47秒ございますので、なんとか休憩も
ごめん、長さトータル
3本で10分47秒。
あ、全然
だから3分無の時間があるから大丈夫です。
なるほど。
大丈夫です。今日はなんだ。
はい。
ということで、9時10分再集合です。では休憩です。どうぞ。
And now the merch team's turn. Oh, so they're doing islands after the break, so sounds like we've got a little bit of a break. I'm gonna take advantage of that and try and get some more coffee or something. I don't know. But we'll go ahead and I'll be back here in just a few. I won't be on break as long as they are going to be. They usually take 10 or 15 minutes, but let me go get stretch and all of that, and then we'll come back and kind of discuss everything we've learned about. All right. Just bear with me. And again, I'm watching the Twitch broadcast, so if you want to switch over to there for a second or two while we take this break, by all means. All right. Let's get back in here. Here we go as we listen to the very sad version of Flow. Yeah, so nothing super detailed, which is kind of surprising. I mean, they've really flown through this first half. Apparently we have Island Sanctuaries next, and I imagine they're going to go quite a bit more in depth than that. Some big surprises. I really did not expect the relic weapons to end up being tied to Hildy, but you know what? I'm here for it. And then yeah, the new dungeon stuff sounds really cool. I'm excited for it. You know, again, it's one of those things they really didn't give a whole lot of details. It's just we're just gonna have to wait and see what it looks like in practice and see if maybe they give us a little bit more information. I think part 2. But yeah, no information as far as rewards or anything like that. So could just be a title, could be something kind of crazy. But yeah, you know, people have been craving the harder 90 content for a very, very long time, and it is nice that they're still making it for casual players too. Just with that little bonus that you can try stuff for the story, so you know, you get a little bit of something either way. It's really nice that they do take both kinds of players into account for that kind of stuff. But yeah, I'm curious about the Island Sanctuaries coming up. That'll probably be the hey, spoilers guys, in case you didn't know from showing Flow, but that's okay. But yeah, I didn't expect Omicrons to be gathering. I'm excited to have them back, as I mean, I like the battle stuff, but crafting and gathering seems to be like one of the harder things to level up at times. So yeah, it's good. It's good that they gave us the option, so you're not just banging on a rock for 5 hours straight. There we go. But yeah, everything else beyond that, I'm really kind of surprised at how little information they've given on just about everything. You know, just a couple screenshots here and there, and then yeah, that's really about it. No mention of rewards or anything, and you know, it's still almost 2 months off at this point, which is another kind of surprising thing. But at least we have kind of a timeline as far as what they're aiming for. You know, again, the job adjustments are going to take some time. It sounds like it's mostly just going to be focused on Astrologian and Dragoon, but they'll get some more information on that out, you know, eventually. Not necessarily a bad thing. You know, Dragoon, I feel like, is in a slightly better place. It's a good starter class, I think, so you can kind of learn your rotation in Final Fantasy's play style. But Astrologian just feels like, I know, it's kind of janky. Not bad necessarily. You know, Astrologians traditionally have some very good RDPS and everything because of their buffs, but it just feels weird. There's a couple buttons that are just kind of like, you're not really sure what the point of them's supposed to be, or they're really finicky. So it's good that they're getting a look at for their rework. But beyond that, yeah, it's just not a whole lot of information, but the information that they have given is pretty interesting. You know, I'm excited for it. Let's see. Beyond that, you know, it's just kind of waiting around and getting some more information maybe in part 2. And that could be why is they are doing this pretty far out compared to what I thought they would be doing it. So they probably just genuinely don't have a whole lot of finished content to show in terms of your rewards and everything like that. But you know, the island sanctuaries I think is a really big part of the patch. You know, you've always for these big 0.1, 0.2 patches, you've always got the main story. That's always like the main draw, right? And then there's usually one other like really big thing added to it. 0.1, of course, is going to be your Crystal and Conflict stuff, and then 0.2 is going to be the Island Sanctuary. Yeah, it's good that they're finally clarifying some of that, because we've been wondering what, you know, Criterion dungeons were for a long time. And it sounds like they're like, hey, you wanted Mythic Plus in the game, so don't blame us when you're kicked in the balls. And it sounds like where they're going with it. You know, it'll be interesting to see if it changes their design philosophy at all. Because previously trash packs were just kind of like gather them all up and then AoE them down. So are they going to start designing dungeons with like specific mobs that have specific moves you need to, you know, pay attention to? Beforehand, it really wasn't that big of a deal, other than maybe the big robots that do the donut. That was really about the only time you ever really had to pay attention to like a specific mob in any of the dungeons. So I'm curious how they're going to, you know, kind of play around with that and kind of throw a little bit of a wrench into how they normally design their dungeons. I think it'll be interesting content for in-game players. And they could potentially as well use it as another avenue for, you know, your raid gear. So instead of having to do savage raids, do the savage dungeons. You know, we'll see if they end up being as challenging as savage raids, but I mean, you can't res. Enemies respawn and there's a timer, so yeah, it sounds like they're going to be pretty difficult. I mean, half my job was just got cut in one fell swoop. I can't wait for all of the no res mage allowed party finder groups. Thankfully I do enough damage to not worry about it. I just hope it doesn't lead to a situation of having Raider IO and shit being brought over. I really don't want that at all. And again, let me know how the audio levels are going, if they're okay. Need adjusted throughout this. I'm playing around with it a lot.
多分この後動画がですねとか喋ってるうちに3分あったうちの
Now we got papaya in the background, so it's time for the laid back casual stuff, huh?
計算が合わんな。
休憩どこ行ったって書かれてるよ。
コメントでこれはもはやただの1コーナーではと言われていたの。うまいことおっしゃると思っていたわけです。休憩でございます。はい、ということで、本日は、パッチ 6.2 コンテンツ特集パート1ということで実装項目の主なものをご紹介しておりますが、ここからは後半戦ということです、ね。はい。なんかね。
Yeah, remove it swiftly enough. I'll keep streaming it. Why not?
大丈夫か?
I'm not gonna miss the island stuff.
仕事がね激務になるとね。
I see printouts. Hold them up. Hold them up, Yoshi. Give the crowd what they want.
今回のこの毎回忙しい山が来るじゃないですか。今回今何合目ぐらいにいるんですか。まだピークは超えている。
もう全然ですよ。もう全然です。私何個肩書きあると思ってるんですか。
そうなんですよね。そうなんですよ。
そうなんですよ。
我々もあれなんです。吉田さんが次の山を登り始めたなってなると、中定例が全部キャンセルになるので気づく。
いやもうなんか全社業務もすごいんでやっぱり、言って一応
I always like his little horseship on. Necklace. Surprised he's not wearing a spoiler shirt of some kind, or even something from the Uniqlo line that just came out, which I'm still trying to get my hands on, but they sell out from resellers, just like before I even realized they were up.
でまあ本当
I was searching on Amazon. They're like $45 on Amazon right now. It's
経
ridiculous.
済系、ビジネス系のいろんなメディアさんとかから、講演依頼とか、なんだろう、気候の依頼とか取材とかすごいですけど、もう全部お断りさせていただいて、もう本当無理ですって、本当ごめんなさいって。ゲームを作らせていやもう本当びっくりするぐらいなんかすごい人たちが出てるやつとかから来るの。講演しませんかって。俺を高校生の時の僕ね、結構親族の中ではなんかあれだったんですよ。鼻つまみ者的なね、その結構ねみんななんか先生やってたりとか。
YoshiP has an anime cough, meaning this episode will be his Kohai caring for him as he has a rag on his head.
空気があったんですけど、もうなんかほんと僕なんか出したらあれですよって。格下がりますよね。びっくりするぐらいね、いろんなご依頼を受けるんですよ。あと特にね、学生さん向けのこうエンジニア目指してますとか、ゲーム業界目指してますっていうそういうものにはできる限りご協力したい。
昔からおっしゃってますよね。
Alright, what do we got? What do we got? What's coming up first?
そうなんですよ。学生さん向けはね、なんとしてでもなんですけど、それすらね、ちょっと今申し訳ないですって言って。
Now, the nice thing with the Island Sanctuary is even though they're trying to temper expectations that it's not Harvest Moon, typically the announcements that they make almost always end up being a lot better than you would think. Kind of in that weird point where it's like super hyped and then it's different, but still turns out to be better than you expected. Like something only Final Fantasy ever seems to pull off. Hey, here we go. So we'll just have to wait and see how it goes.
出てこなかった無人島開拓なんですが、もう組み上がってきてですね、僕の実機チェック第1弾はもう始まってます。ただですね、今まだちょっとバグが多くてですね、あまりにもでかいんでコンテンツ全体がちょっとバグがまだ多くて、今日ちょっと実機ではご紹介できないので、まあそもそも無人島開拓ってどんなコンテンツで何ができるのっていうところからちょっとご紹介した上で、次回第72回 PLL の、パッチ 6.2 特集パート2の方でちょっと実機も交えてですね、お伝えできればと思ってるので、今日はちょっと、テキストと僕の説明でなんとなく、ご理解いただけると助かります。
よろしくお願いします。
では概要からいきましょう。
Alright, overview. Here we go.
全プレイヤーにですね、お一人につきお一つ無人島を差し上げます。
Build your own personal island sanctuary. That's kind of what we knew.
一人一棟。
How we do that? That's what we're wondering.
ざっくり言うとですね、その無人島でですね、素材を収集したり、動物のお世話をしたり、拠点を作ったりですね、工芸品を作ったりとかですね、とにかくソロでマイペースで楽しめる、ゆったりできる新しいコンテンツというくくりになっております。でまあこの素材収集とか拠点作りとか工芸品生産っていうと、まあクラフターギャザラーやってないんだよねってなるかもしれないですけど、クラフターとかギャザラーの知識とかは一切必要ございません。もうここ
Yeah, no experience as a DOL, DOH is necessary.
で、じゃあその一人一個もらえる無人島ってさ、言うて何ちっちゃいんでしょみたいな。
Yeah, some people saying it kind of sounds like the Doman Enclave. I hope it's a little more personal than that, you know. Hope you have a little more control over how it's built.
ちょっと見てみましょう、その無人島ね。
Oh.
無人島。
粗めのポリゴンで。
粗めのポリゴン。
That's a lot bigger than I thought. That's a huge island.
まあ入り江です。入り江です。入り江になんか小さい点がポツンとあるのってご確認できます？なんか砂浜にですね、黒い点がポツってあるんですよ。
皆さんよくご覧いただいて。
それは何かと申しますと、 ルガディです。
Size of a...
あれがルガディ。
なるほどなるほど
黒い点がルガディ。
あ、そっか、サイズ感わかんないからね。
そうそうそう、サイズ感。
All right, that's a lot bigger than I was expecting.
このモザイクの向こう側にある。
I mean, I'd be completely fine if they just poured it over Genshin's
仕
teapot.
上げますので。
でかい
I am a-okay with that.
な。なるほど。
Man, that's big. So basically, it's like the size of a housing ward. Like if that's the scale, that's about the size of a housing ward. Probably won't involve housing, but
しかもですね、こちらタダでもらえます。
hmm.
太っ腹。
ほんのちょっとクエストやってもらえれば
はは。
タダでもらえます。
Wonder why they're hiding the rest.
さて、では無人島でできることを
Maybe they have some stuff pre-built on it already.
いきましょう。
はい、お願いします。
Island sanctuary
まずですね、
activities.
大自
There we
然、この
go.
無人島の大自然。
No mounts allowed,
Ah,
okay?
so
Gather
they
materials from nature,
今
okay?
無人島ではあるんですけど、どうやらかつては一時期人がちょっと住んでいたけど打ち捨てられて今は使われてないみたいな感じですね。なんかどっかの日本のテレビ番組の設定みたいな気もしますけど、まあ大自然から素材を集めます。
はい。
で素材はここで手に入る素材っていうのは無人島専用
Are
になってます。
island specific
で
and
専用
take
のバッ
up
グを作りま
inventory
したので
space, okay?
インベントリーを
That's not good.
圧迫するということはございません。専用のバッグにジャガスが入っていきます。
これ助かる。
はい。
安心。
でですね、素材から
So it's almost like a personalized version of Diatom
最初は
when we were building
はい。
building
虫取れる
foundation.
ものとかを
Yeah.
こう集める
Craft tools from gathered
最低限
materials.
集めたら、
はい
それでまずちょっと
はは。
なんかね、斧的なものを作ってもらったら、その斧を使う
Almost
と
like
また取れるものが増えるみたいな、まあちょっと道具を作って
To harvest new resources more effectively, okay. It's almost like raft or arc. Yeah, pretty much any of those wilderness
開
builders.
拓適当でいいやっていう人も全然それで構わないので、
はい。
まずまあそんな感じで素材を集められます。
はい。
で、次、無人島でできることに、畑を作れます。畑、
Grow
土地を
crops,
切り開い
okay.
て
Nice.
そこに畑を作ってですね。で、そこで農作物
I wonder if it'll be
育てることができます。で、島で
like the normal gardening, yeah.
から育てて、まあ、収穫をするんですけど、
Different from a
ハウジン
steak.
グの栽培とはもう別物になってます。
Different from estate crops.
で、さらにですね、島にはですね、動物たちが
Interesting, interesting.
まあそれをですね、捕獲してですね、連れてきてですね、飼育
So I wonder if it's going to be stuff you can still put on the market board and everything.
で
Or if it's something that's like going to be
レアカラー
specific for the
有名な
island.
動物が出現することも
For rare color, oh, you can get
ただ自分のお
shinies.
気に入りの動物だけ、
はい
もう連れてきて、
Okay.
可愛がっていただいて、名前もね、つけれますんで。
I'm excited for shinies. Why not?
なので、もうぜひ、気に入った名前をつけてですね、手入れをね、飼育してあげていただ
That sounds cool.
く。さら
Unique
に
minion colors.
その拠点と呼んでいる、一応この辺りにね、その活動拠点を作りましょうみたいなのがございますんで、施設を建築するこ
Build
と
a
が
base, okay.
で、これ何段階っていうふうにこう拡張したり、グレードアップしたりしていくんですけど、
And how is it built? Is it just like a
これをですね
prefab building or
こう
what?
さらにこう開拓していくために便利機能がさらにその施設に付随して
Hey, there we
開
go.
発
So
さ
you
れたり
can customize it a bit.
で、まあ基本的にはこうグレードアップさせていく遊びなんですけど、
はい
グレードアップしきるともう見た目はどれにしますみたいな選んでもいいよ。なんか初期の一番ちょっとボロいのが好きなの。
ああ、なるほど、なるほど。はい。
まあそんな感じに選んだりもできる。で、
Wonder if they'll show any screens today or
さらに
not.
まあこれ
Just to kind of give an idea of how much customization is involved.
イメージ。
Like, I very sincerely doubt it's going to be nearly as intricate as
さらにです
housing.
ねこちらはですね、ハウジングでずっと
Release the minions.
やりたいっていうリクエストが多くて、まあ構造上難しかったんですけど、この無人島でどうしてもミニオンの話し飼いは達成しようっていうのでやってたんで、その拠点内にですね、好きなミニオンを話して話
Your
し飼い
favorite
して
minions may wander freely within your
話
base.
し飼
All
いして
right.
なんだって言われて、いや
So
まあ
brush off those old lists,
好き
everyone.
な 部分だけで、まあなんか自分のくつろぎのそのね拠点をね、場所にして
I don't even know which minions I have in my favorites list right now. I've gotten quite a few from the gacha
さらにですね
and the Grand Company. I haven't really taken a look at them since then.
工芸品というのを作れます。じゃあ何やそれ。
Great handicrafts, okay.
を組み合わせてその島ならではの工芸品っていうのを作って、輸出することができます。で流行とかそれから相場っていうのを読んで、まあ利益を上げる遊びです。
ああ、なるほどね。
でただこれギルじゃなくて、無人島専用の通貨をこれによって獲得。
Handicrafts will be sold for island-specific currency, huh? Okay.
何他のプレイヤー
We got our marketing sim.
それね、今回ソロに特化してるんでやってません。その人それぞれに流行と相場が提示されるので。
I wonder what you can buy with all of it, though.
遊んでいける。はい。
Then surely they've got to have stuff you can use outside of the island, otherwise why do it all?
なるほど。
I mean, I'm sure they're going to have, you know, building upgrades and stuff too, but
とその通貨を交換して、その様々なね、この無人島の開拓の中
there we go, there we go.
のいろんな遊びで得られる通貨がございますので、
はい、
その通貨とアイテムを交換して、まあ報酬を得ることもできますよ。
Island miles, yeah.
いう感じで。
They really are trying to make it as self-contained as possible. Yeah, I mean, it makes complete sense, really.
交流フレンドとかですね、フリーカンパニーのメンバーに関しては、訪問 OK にしておけば、お互いの、無人島を行き来することは可能です。
Yeah. So, I mean, for not being Harvest Moon,
we're
doing a pretty good job trying to make it Harvest Moon. Obviously not nearly as intricate, but I mean, Yoshi was always a big fan of like Rune Factory and all of those, so it makes complete sense that it'd be something he'd be pretty passionate about building to the best he can.
まあ正直言うと、もうなんか全員が夢中で作るっていうイメージは持ってないです。まったりやりたい、結構お世話をすることが好きだったり、でそれもなんか機能がアップグレードしていくと一括でお願いする機能とかもあるんで、気楽にとにかくやって。
And I mean, obviously, if you're able to invite people back and forth, there's got to be a fair amount of customization to it. Otherwise, they'd all just look the same, right? Why bring people over if you're going to the same island?
行われて広がってって、まあ最終的にはああなるっていうふうに思ってください。建てられる建物も結構な数、そのもう見た目だけのものを建てるとかいうのもできますし、あとは、まあ、最終的にはフライング解放して飛べるし、あとマウントスピードはね結構速く。
Some people stand around showing off all of their high-end, you know, perfect weapons, their legendary weapons. I'm going to show off all the shinies that I'm going to try and collect.
結構速いです、マウントは。はい。
もう飛べるっていう3文字が吉田さんの口から出た瞬間、風脈はあるのかっていうコメント。
風脈ないんじゃないかな。まあある程度探索しないと飛べないっていうところがあるから。そうですね。まあそんな感じで。
Yeah, that's.
でまあここからまた
I don't know, just the screenshot of the island, like man, this is going to be huge.
まあ遊んでって例えば今ちょっとコメントにもあった
A lot bigger than I thought it was going to be. I was expecting like maybe a couple large plots put together, you know. But no, it's like it's a full ass island, man. I mean, it's a housing ward style size island. You know, if that really was the size of a Roganin.
まあ次回はちょっと実機を交えて、でただいきなりこう島渡されて、はいどうぞ好きにしてくださいってちょっと
Can't wait to arrange my shrubs in the shape of dicks. All right. I mean, gotta have there must be one in every game.
なので一応序盤のチュートリアルで最初の道具を作り、手作業で取れるものからもう一段。
Yeah, this sounds really cool. I just wish we had more screenshots. Maybe in part 2, but I really want to see what some of the construction stuff actually looks like.
ところまではちゃんとこうなんだろう、トゥードゥ方式で一応進めて いきますけど、もうそっから先はどうぞっていう。
やれることは
もうやらなくてもいいし
示すためとは、
やってもいいしみたいな
なるほどなるほど。
感じになっているので、であんまりちょっと今調整いろいろプレイしながらやってるんですけ
I
ど、
wonder what the
あんまり
shiny
手は
Namazu will look like.
言い過ぎないでくれとやらされてる感になっちゃうと、
はい
それはそれで違うんで、なのでまあとはいえね、あくまでも14のキャラクターシステム、コントロールシステムの中でできることだから、
はい。
なんかマイクラのようにこうゴリゴリ岩とか自分で
Feel the
作り
golden
そういう
goo-boo.
のじゃないんで、そこはご注意ください。
そうね。
はい。天候は変わりますけど、
はい。
なんかずっと俺んとこ雨なんだよなってなるのも嫌なんで、ちょっとね、結構気持ちよく晴れが
あ
は多めに天候設定してたりしてます。はい。というわけで次回ちょっと実機を交えてですね、
そうですね。
どんな広さ。
More details to follow in part 2. Yeah, kind of what we expected.
気持ちいいのは気持ちいい。
A little disappointing. I thought we'd get maybe some more screens, but at the same time, sounds interesting.
なんとかこれちょっとリクエストして。
Sounds a lot bigger than I expected. I mean, yeah, just the island alone, it's gigantic.
拠点にオーケストラに置いて好きな音楽かけてると、離れていくとね、音だんだん小さくなってくるんですよ。波長範囲から減衰して、でちょうどね畑農作物の作業やってる時にちょっと遠くのね拠点からね悠久の風が流れてきたりしてるんで、これええなって言ってやってたんで、まあ好きな曲をでまあ最終エリアとかに行くと専用の曲流れたりとかするんで、結構ほのぼのいい感じの落ち着けるというかスペースになってるので、ぜひ次回。
All right. Well, now that they've got the island sanctuaries out of the way, what in the world's going to be next? What else do they even have to cover?
というところで今日
Can't imagine there's that much.
無人島開拓のお知らせはこんなところ。
はい、ここまず
ね。はい、ありがとうございます。
で、続いていきましょうか。
はい。
Hey, more adventure played and portrait updates. That's good. It's probably one of my favorite features from the last patch. Something that kind of took me by surprise. From beta version to official release. Wonder if they'll fix a bug where it doesn't save it when you change jobs and all that.
ていくのかというところをちょっとご説明させていただこうと思います。まずとにかく分かりづらい
Saves to portrait functions, okay.
関連付けの仕組みっていうのをもう根底から作り直しました。
Yeah, sounds like they fixed it. That's good.
複雑だっていうことで、でですね、まず現状今皆さんに公開されているパッチ 6.2 前の状態ってどうだったかというのを一応図にしました。今の状態です。まずポートレートこうたくさん作るんですけど、それらをさらにですねアドベンチャラープレートにも適用できるし、コンテンツ用ポートレートにもできるし、ギアセットにも関連付けられる。
Used for any purpose when previewing or editing.
が一見高いんですけど、結果めちゃくちゃ分かりづらくて、なんでセットしたのに
Probably involves reworking some of it, but
元に戻るのみたいな。でそのうち
previewing or editing portraits, current gear was
クリ
reflected.
スタルコンフリクトやっていてもですね、メインで多分使ってたジョブは結構きっちりあるんですけどそのちょっと使ってみっかなになると、みんなスンってなるんですよ。あれ
Probably changing how it actually saves that information too.
ようわからん、なんか1個やるだけみたいな感じなんで、もうこれダメだとやっぱり。でもポートレートを作ってから各用途に適用するっていう形になってって、しかもプレビューするときとか編集するときはその時作ってセーブした装備じゃなくて現在の装備が使われるから余計わかんないですよ。あれおかしい、俺さっき竜騎士できっちり作ったのに、なんでって。でここをすいません、根本的に作り直して。
So I wonder if they're gonna flip it. So like you set one for your adventure plate, set one for your instant portrait, like specifically for it.
はい。
Yeah.
アドベンチャラープレートにはもうアドベンチャラープレート用のポートレートを作れます。これはもうだからキャラクターの名刺のようなイメージですね。どのジョブをやってようが、現在のジョブは関係ないと、もう私の名刺としてはこのポートレートを常に使います。でさらに ギアセットに対してポートレートを作る
Portrait for gear set 1.
紐付け
Okay.
ることにしました。
So it is specifically saving them
なのでギアセットの数分
like per
ポートレ
gear
ートが
set.
作れる。
That's good. That's good.
だから例えばナイトでギアセット1がナイトだったら
Each avenue of use when previewing or editing. Okay.
それはもうそのまま
Cool,
保
cool.
存されるっていう。もう単純に1対1
And I mean, we kind of figured that they would be working on that kind of stuff anyways. They wanted to get them out, so it was very much a beta version. So yeah, this sounds like a little bit of a better way to go.
もう単純に1対1にしましょう。
なるほど。
Doesn't sound like it'll affect us that much in terms of like
なので用途
how
ごとに1対1で紐付く
how it handles it.
を作って
As far as what we have to do.
でプレビュー
It
や
sounds like it's
編集の際は
handling it
その
differently on the
保存した時
back end. It's more gear set based
はは
than it is you just make a bunch of
今の装備とか
portraits, you know.
だって俺これで保存したんだもんってい
うん
う。で、ただですね、申し訳ない、本当に申し訳ないんですけど、もうデータの構造から何から全部作り直したた
So
めにですね
unfortunately, it sounds like that means you might not be able to have like
現在
5 different red mage portraits. You'll have to like
データ
specifically make them.
そのまま引き継げないとい
Be
う
lost. Created under the beta version will be lost. Okay, so that's good to know. We'll have to remake them, but they're portraits. They're not that hard.
すいませんちょっともう構造から全て変えてしまった。
Gives you more excuse to get in and play around with the photo lab. It's not like us G posers don't do that enough already, right?
でですね、じゃあちょっと具体的にどう編集するのっていうのを正式版の方でちょっとご紹介したいと思います。
はい、お願いします。
パッチ 6.2 以降のポートレートの編集方法なんですけど、もう
Be
今これ
edited from the
アドベンチャ
adventure
ープレ
plate
ート
interface. Okay.
の編集画面なんですけど、アドベンチャラープレート用のポートレートはもうガチ1対1なので、ここから、
Okay.
プロフィールだったりこれ用のポートレートを編集するっていうダイレクトに、はい、なりましたので、何も考えない、アドベンチャープレートを作るぞって言ったら、もうここだけで完結できるようになっているので、まあ自分がどんなジョブをやっていたとて、これ自分の自己紹介はこれだっていうのをここで作っていただけたらなと思います。
The
で
horny
ですね、
F for the horny plates.
装備をね、新しい今現在の装備に書き換えたいっていう場合はもちろんボタン一発で書き換えることもできますし、
I'm sure where there's a will, there's a way. people figure it out.
だけ編集っていうことができるようにはなってますので、より便利で分かりやすくなったと思います。
なるほど。
じゃあ続いてなんですが、そのギアセットごとのってどうなるのかというとですね、UI 的
Played in
に
the
は
portrait
オー
interface.
プンされ
Okay.
ているギアセットを選んで、このギアセットの時に表示するポートレートを作りましょうと
Cool.
いう形に変わります。
Yeah, so they're changing the interface a little bit. Bringing up your current gear sets automatically. That's good.
作ればいいのねと。
So if you do have multiple, you know, my case red mage sets, I do have a couple, one for ult, one for
これがなんでこうなったかっていう話なんですけど、やっぱそこは
my normal savage stuff, and then a couple to play around with. So yeah, you would be able to make like 4 or 5 different, you know, for a single job, you just have to have different gear set slots. It's going to suck for lower players that maybe don't have that many gear sets, but by the time you're 90, you've got more than enough to play around with.
なっております。で、当然機能追加というのも行っておりまして、その次のページ。まずですね、コンテンツ用ポートレートって今、
Further additions.
クリスタルコンフリクトにのみ対応してるんですけど、パッチ 6.2 では土間式麻雀に、対応完了しました。今インスタンスダンジョンとかもテストをやってるんですけど、ちょっと 6.2 には間に合いそうにないので、ちょっとその次にさせていただきますけど、
I know a few people that are going to be very happy about that.
出さないっていうオプションつけるようにするので、よりいろんな人のポートレートが見れるっていう方が楽しくていいや。
I need to get back into it.
みたいな感じで今作っている。
I like Mahjong. It just takes
その分ちょっとね、オプションいろいろ作んなきゃい
takes
けない
me a long time to like remember how to play it. I've got like a spreadsheet that has all the common common plays on it.
ポートレートに使用できるモーションっていうのを
New poses. Hey, there we go. Yeah, I assume they're going to be, you know, always be adding new plates, new poses, new frames, you know.
飾り付けですね。 飾りを
Those are always kind of an evergreen reward that they
そ
can
れ
keep
から
adding
最
to
も
them.
多分欲しいであろうこのポートレートを一回作ったやつのモーショ
Hopping
ンとカメ
pose
ラ
camera
の設定
settings.
を
Oh, that's nice.
Copy.
Yeah, that's very nice.
こうさらにね装備だけ
It would be good if you have a favorite pose. I like my adventure play pose. The problem is it's just kind of Redmade specific, so I couldn't really port it over to a bard or something, but makes it easy if, you know, you have several of the same job.
グループポーズにね、バトルモーションとか特定のバトルアクションとかね、LB が使いたいとかいう声もあると思うんですけど、まあちょっとそこはね、デバッグもあるんで徐々に増やしていけたらなとは思ってますが、はい。
I'm excited to see some of the new additions, some of the new rewards we can get to add to the old
シン
plates.
プルでより使いやすい形で、パッチ 6.2 から、アドベンチャラープレートとポートレート正式リリースというふうにさせていただければと思います。はい。
Alright, what else we got here?
ですね、他にも、細かくアップデートがあるんですけど、
はい、
まあ今日お伝えするものだけが全てじゃないんですけど、ざっとその他のアップデートをお伝えしていこうかなと思います。
お願いします。
まず、
They're going to fix the immersive sound bug that they've had for a while. Oh god, more tombstones. Here we go. For the new raid series, what do we
こち
got?
らのですね、アラガントームストーン、我々の、語彙力もだいぶなくなってまいりましたが、新たなアラガントームストーンは、因果と申します。
Okay, causality. Okay, interesting.
今ガロコラボやってるから因果
Interesting.
言いたいだけやないかっていう気もするんですけど。 因果が多分代替わりして消えるときに因果消滅って言われて因果お前消えるのかってなるんですよ。
Who would have guessed we're getting new tombstones with the new raid patch?
そしてですね、バトル系の新式装備が、レイド
High level crafted gear added, yep.
追加実装されます。
The old
それからですね、これはだいぶ
overmelts.
やっ
Get
と手が
ready.
回って作れた
Get
ん
ready,
ですが
crafters. They're about ready to make a lot of money.
装備の修理依頼を出せるようになります。しかもですね、こちら
Request repairs from players both in and outside of duty. Nice. Nice. They don't have to leave, don't have to go outside.
ってからごめん修理しなかったみたいなおいっていうのが
Cut down a little bit. You know, I've had a few times we've had to cut an instance a little bit early just to go out and repair, you know.
ついにコンテンツ内で修理もできるようになりました。で、他の人のですね。なので、ぜひね、やばい耐久度がっていう場合は、修理を、ね、してあげてください。そしてですね、
Yeah, time to stock up on dark matter. Yeah, they finally have a purpose again. That'll be nice, yeah. It's one of those small things, but it's just a very nice little quality of life change. Combo sequence display added to the actions list. Huh. Oh, cool. Alright. Interesting. It's making it a little more obvious for new players that don't understand that they even have a rotation like that. You think it wouldn't be You think it'd be pretty hard to miss, but you know, watching a lot of streamers and a lot of players new to the game, they don't realize there's combos. See a lot of players, sometimes even people that have played for a long time, mess up their combos because they don't realize that they're supposed to go through the combo, you know? They're not normal MMO players, but they are Final Fantasy players, so yeah, interesting to see them adding that to it. Standard and branching views, so yeah. So you've got two options for the end of your combo there, depending on what you want to do. Sprout mode. Yeah.
聖戦にレア素材を、今回追加させていただきます。ただまあ新式装備にそのレア素材必要なのみたいな。
Rare materials added to ethereal inductions performed by miners, botanists, and fishers. Interesting.
レア素材みたいなね、ちょっと入れて。
They're not used in crafting battle-related items, so hopefully that's more for like your weavers that want to craft the maybe want to craft some glam gear. Whoa,
結果的に
hey!
いけました。400から800まで、倍にミラージュドレッサー拡張させていただきます。
There we go. 800. Doubling it. Nice.
一気に
Where in the world did they
はい
find all those slots?
やってくれました
Hey.
サーバー班
いやー、サバハン。ありがとう。ありがとう。
All
サバハン
right. Best news of the
結
patch.
構
Hands down.
SNS 等で見てました。ミラージュドレッサー、ミラージュドレッサー。いや、なんか吉田準備してるって言ってたぞ。本当か ?PLL で話が出るのかみたいなのを結構やり取りされたのを見てたんで。はい、400が800になりますので、まあでもきっと。
All right. I did not expect that. I really thought they were going to keep it at like 400 forever at this point, with how much they've talked about their inventory issues. Very nice. I was at like 301. I've been trying to keep it. You've probably seen me on stream trying to keep it under 300 just in
とりあえ
case.
ず米みたいなのはちょっとね、そうですね。断捨離もね、時折。
入れりゃいいってもんじゃない。
そうね。なんか一個ボタン作ろうか。オート断捨離みたいな。あなたの意思に反して私が断捨離しますがよろしいですか。確かに。
しばらく使われてないものはね、
そうそうそう。
取り除いておきましたよなんです。
そうそう。
Very nice.
やっちまったものは。
But I know you guys, Yoshi's saying we'll be complaining again in 3
でも
months.
その代わり確認が5回ぐら
He
い。
knows us
本当
well.
によろしいですか。本当にいいのですよ。
そうね。
もう二度と戻りませんよみたいな。
だって800もあって、もしこれ仮に800がパンパンになったとするじゃないですか。
うん。
使ってないものを
そうね
取。り除こうってこれ大作業です。
確かにね。だってさ、そういうこと言ってさ、過去何ヶ月その使ってないかで相当できるようにしてほしいとか言い出して、それが取れるんだったら
I think he's just laughing at us at this point.
まとめてリストを確認する
He knows his audience. He knows his crowd.
消す機能が欲しいってな。
Don't forget he plays with us. He hears it all.
そんなさ、一個一個のデータにさ、いつ使ったかなんて。
Suddenly Ruby Tide starts being every queue. Yeah.
まあまあでもね、まあ喜んでいただける、単純にね、
はい
増えれば増えるほど喜んでいただけるポイントなので、増やしますということで800になります。
はい。ご活用ください。
そしてですね、なぜ今っていう感じなんですけど、
はい
最後、まあどちらかというとお知らせに近いんですが、リターントゥイバリス関連のクエストの順番をちょっと一部調整させていただ
Order a
いて
certain return of Ivalis. Okay.
はい。
ワインのつまみ。
Oh, rest in peace, bread.
できなくなるんです。これ松尾さんたってのリクエストもあってですね。
I don't think anyone,
ということで
even some of the most hardcore dire of the Final Fantasy fandom, I don't think any of them will complain about losing some of the Ivalis quest line.
まあ今回ちゃんとじゃあやりましょうということで、はい。はい、ご注意ください。
そうですね。
はい。
まあ、そうです。
I think even the people that really like 12 can't stand the Ivalis quest line. It is genuinely the only time where you can say skip the cutscenes and not feel like an asshole. It's true.
で、まあ、新コンテンツ、その、バリアントダンジョンも、アナザーダンジョンも、まあ、無人島開拓、まあ、6.25 なんで。
Matsuno is crying right now.
多いですよ。
そう、だから、結構、絶今やってらっしゃる方は、6.2 で、ね、霊式来るし、で、6.25 来ると、
And maybe have a little bit here at the end for the merch team. Who knows? Maybe some new announcements. Be nice if they extend the Uniqlo collab. Actually get some more of that printed. That's what I really want more than anything. I don't know if I've got a Uniqlo close by. We might have one in St. Louis. I don't know.
まあまあでも本当ご自身のペースで。というわけ
Heard
で
they're easy to get the shirts if you can actually go to a physical location. It's just they're not really around a whole lot of places. If I was still in LA, it wouldn't be a problem. I'd be wearing Final Fantasy shirts every day.
5ヶ月からちょっと4ヶ月にスライドさせていただいた分だけ
Let me check.
またねやって出していきたいなと思ってますのでよろしくお願いします。
はい。
で次回の PLL では実機を交えてですね、それらの新しいところを実機でご紹介していけたらなと思っております。はい。
はい、ありがとうございました。ということで、パッチ 16.2実装コンテンツパート1はここまでとさせていただきまして、
はい。
本日の
Yeah,
プロデューサー
nothing nearby at all.
前にいくつかお知らせ事項が今日もございますので、
はい
そちらをご紹介させていただきたいと思います。
うん
では最初のお知らせですが、まずはちょっとご覧いただきたい動画があるので、こちらをご覧ください。どうぞ。
All right. That was from the Primals concert, and yeah, they're just going over the DVD and all of that. Yeah, I think they announced that they're doing a Blu-ray, so we'll go ahead and turn that down. DMC and all that. But yeah, very good live letter. A lot of ground, but honestly, not nearly as much information as I expected. So we'll just have to wait for part 2 to see if they come out with some more screens and all that. But yeah, I'm pretty excited for it. You know, I really did not expect them to expand the glamour dresser at all. I think that's probably my favorite part. An interesting way to go for the raid series. I mean, for our relics, having them go through the Manderville quest, and those are our relics. I mean, that's what it sounds like, anyways. But we'll just have to wait and see how it goes in practice. But yeah, with that said, thanks a ton for joining me. I think we got a lot to look forward to, and they'll probably have the part 2 at the beginning of August or so. Like I said, my guess would be August 23rd for the actual patch. I really hope they don't push it to the 30th, but I imagine the 23rd sounds about right. But beyond that, yeah, we'll just have to wait and see. Island Sanctuaries sound good. Manderville relics sound good. A lot of it sounds good. We just don't know a whole lot about it. I think the big news for a lot of the hardcore crowd is going to be the Savage Dungeons. That's probably one of the more interesting aspects, just to see how it's actually going to play out. You know, I said it earlier, but it's really one of those things we'll just have to wait and see. See what it looks like in practice. You know, screenshots and all that are really not going to do all that much for it. You just really have to jump in and play them. But I think it's a good move. I think it's an interesting move for sure. Let's see. So September 14th, $60 for the Blu-ray. Yeah. But that was the pay-for concert that they had. And they are adding those orchestrion rolls too for those bonus codes. Yeah, the Close in the Distance, Beyond the Shadow version. I don't know if they were allowed to cheer yet at the concert, though. You know, Japan's been letting venues open, but they could only really wave their pen lights for a while. I don't know if they're allowed to cheer yet. So I didn't get a chance to watch the concert. It was a little bit out of my price range, but yeah, I'm glad that they got back in front of a live audience. I think that's what everyone's wanted since the digital fan fest. You know, they did what they could, but only goes so far. It's nothing compared to an actual crowd. If they announce any other merch, some figurines or something might be kind of cool. Yeah, saw Nobuo was there. Yeah. Yeah, it was pretty cool. Saw the screenshots that Soken was posting. Yeah, I was watching one of the replays of Distant Worlds where he showed up. He speaks a lot better English than I expected. Yeah, immersive game pack, get the 20% off. Yeah, just going over summer sale right now. Just still haven't bought anything for summer sale, unfortunately.
イヤホンとかでご利用の方はですね、14楽しんでいらっしゃる方にはこれぜひなかなかね面白いですから、ぜひともご検討いただければ。
まあね、フリートライアルあります。
あ、そうですね、フリートライアル。
はいはい。
You could, yeah, saying you could try the free trial for it.
そう多分ね、
I don't know.
慣れた人はね、
I'm
な
not
んか
super sold on it
っていう
quite yet.
感じじゃないかな。
そうになっちゃうとね。
They don't need a picture of my ear. There's plenty of other headphones that'll do essentially the same thing.
そうあの
Just get a nice pair of Sennheisers. You won't need the immersive. Won't need the immersive audio.
対応してくれるのが面白いですね。
I mean, hell, my HyperXs I like quite a bit. I need to go back to the Clap 2s instead of this version. But yeah, I love my Clap 2s. These are still not bad. It's just a lot more work. What I really need is a nice actual pair of stereo jack headphones so I can plug directly into my audio interface. Just do away with all these cords and jankiness. Just do everything through this audio box.
日本向けのお知らせですが、本日午後に
Yeah, looking for party members. Okay, new TV show.
吉本芸人が遊び尽くす新番組 FF14 パーティーメンバー募集中という番組が放送決定いたしました。
なんとね、吉本さんからお話いただいて、しかも全12回。
そう、全12回。これがなんと1週間後ですね。来週7月9日土曜日から土曜日の25時
On smartphones and PC. Free streaming every Sunday at 1 a.m. JST.
生放送じゃなくてね、もうだから、もうまさにバラエティー。
そうなんですよ。でこちら、写真でご覧いただいている通り、ブラックマヨネーズの小杉隆一さん、インパルスの板倉俊之さん、そしておかずクラブのゆいぴーさん、それから、ガリーレコードの高井圭介さん。
I really need to watch like Father of Light and some of the other content they put out.
楽しみですね。
I've heard it's actually a pretty good show. I think it was on Netflix for a time. I don't know if it still is or not. Yeah, I think I saw it pop up in between my my viewings of Tokyo Diner. Midnight Diner, I mean. Started showing up in my feed. Yeah, this is all the merch stuff, but you know, I like to stick around just in case. Sometimes they have some pretty big announcements at the very end or something. Some pretty cool merch to look at. Hey, the AORZ Cafe. There you go. If you guys happen to be in Japan for any reason at all, pop-up cafe. Probably featuring some of the stuff from the cookbook. 3 new stores. Okay. Feature capsule hotels.
期間限定でオープンしますので、ぜひともご近所にいるよという方、もしくは両親遠征したるかという方はですね、ぜひともご検討いただければと思いますので、よろしくお願いいたします。
Unfortunately, you know, we won't have a chance to do it because I think they're still under tour groups over there. Maybe when they do a general open, save up a bit and head over. Okay. More important announcements. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, this is just kind of all kind of a review of a lot of things, and again from the merch team and whatnot. So we'll turn it down a bit. So just going over a little bit. Later this week, I'm not going to do another stream later today for Final Fantasy III. We'll pick that up again this weekend, just because I was literally up for 20 hours straight yesterday trying to get back onto a normal schedule for this, and I didn't even really even after all of that, I didn't even sleep all that well last night. So unfortunately, probably not going to do a stream for FF3 later today. But yeah, we'll do that again. We'll pick that up again probably tomorrow. Do that all weekend, and I don't know, throw an extra stream in there here and there. Obviously Tuesday we have the 24-hour maintenance Monday night into Tuesday. So bear that in mind. I'll try and plan a stream for some of that downtime. I don't know if it'll be Final Fantasy 3 or we'll do something else kind of, yeah, just kind of fun, just to kind of kill some time and help people get through all of the downtime. 24 hours is a long time, but obviously they're going to have a lot of back-end maintenance that they got to do for it. So we'll just we'll do what we can for most of that. I don't know why I'm looking over here. This is my Discord. I need to be looking at you guys, right? But beyond that, I mean, this was really the big big stream for this weekend. A lot of good news, and probably make some clips here and there from it, just as kind of an overview. But yeah, really excited about a lot of it, and really excited to continue the FF3 playthrough. Still have a couple other things that I do want to pick up and play a little bit more of. Genshin Impact, that's always another one I can throw up on the stream for you guys, just to kind of break things up a little bit. Probably take a day off early next week, just to get some more work done on some other stream related and writing stuff, just some real life stuff. Again, probably not going to make an actual schedule to post on the Twitter, but try to stream a little bit every day for you guys to just kind of come hang out, chill for a little bit. But yeah, beyond that, you know, I guess that'll be it for the rest of this stream. Thanks a ton if you guys are watching now or watching a VOD sometime in the future. Really appreciate it. Really excited for 6.2 and really excited for next Tuesday. Finally getting the data center travel opened up. But beyond that, we'll see you guys in Eorzea. You know, thanks a ton for watching. If you like the content, again, like, subscribe, all of that good stuff. You know the deal. We'll be back with FF3 tomorrow. All right, and take care.